What's up, guys? So I figured I would do a little video kind of going over my experience from last weekend. In case you aren't aware, I did a figure show and a powerlifting meet in the same weekend. It was super awesome. So I wanted to go over that a little bit and then tell you guys what's next, where I'm headed, that kind of stuff. So last Saturday was my first figure show of the season. My last video, you can see the prejudging comparisons and then the finals. I ended up taking second place. It was a tough class for sure. I think looking back now, I'm all right with what happened. I won't say I'm all right because second place doesn't sit well with me, but I will say that what happened is going into the show, I actually knew that I wasn't ready. I knew that I needed to be leaner. Even, looking at my pictures the day before and the morning of that I was sending to Alberto, I was like, I'm not as lean as I need to be. And anybody who knows me knows that the standards that I have for myself, and I expect very, very, very much of myself. So kind of went into the show like, you know what, like this, let's just make this a fun weekend. This, is such a cool opportunity for me to be able to compete in both of these sports in one weekend. So let's just make the best of it. This show will be just a warm-up, just to get me back on stage, comfortable on stage, all that kind of stuff. So that's how I went into it. I was like, I'm not even looking at, any sort of placing here. So what happened is in prejudging, I had a few friends there and then Eric, of course, and we got worked for sure. It was like, I think 11 minutes the prejudging was of quarter turns. And I was like, great, I have to deadlift tomorrow. And my back's so sore right now. So after prejudging, everybody was like, it's between you and another girl. So I think what happened is because I knew that there was a possibility of me winning, I got a little overexcited. And of course, everybody wants to win. So I think I was obviously a little let down when I got second, but it is what it is. And there's more shows, and I, of course, afterwards was, went through all of the feelings and kind of processed everything. And of course, there's some negative stuff that goes through your head, and I'd be lying if I didn't say that I didn't have any of that. But I think that because of the person I am now, and because this isn't my first season, I was able to process things a little bit better, and just knowing that like I went into it not at 100%, but I was still able to place second, that made me feel a little better. So and I really enjoyed my time on stage. It was probably the first T-Walk that I did, because I did 3 shows last season, where I really enjoyed myself. And, people even noticed and said I looked a lot more comfortable on stage. So mission accomplished there. So then after the show, we drove about 2 hours to the city where the meet was. And I barely slept on Saturday night because my back was so sore from posing. So I was a little bit worried about my meet, but I ended up having not my best meet by any means, but I weighed in at 133.7. I squatted 253, benched 132, and deadlifted 336. And actually won best lifter for the first time, which is pretty cool because it was actually my 8th meet. So So overall, just like, I think that because I, came off of the little bit of like disappointment from the show the day before and went into the meet, and just, walking into a powerlifting meet for me is like, this is my home, this is where my heart is, and anybody who knows me knows my heart is really in that sport. So I was just so happy to be there, I think, that I didn't even care what I lifted. So I was just able to have a really great time and, be with my teammates and people from the gym. So overall, a really good weekend. I was a little like overly emotional for a couple days afterwards, because it was really just like so cool to me that I actually had the opportunity to be able to do both in one weekend, because a lot of times meets are on Saturday, so I don't know if it's even something that anybody's ever done. I know people have done meets during prep and things like that, but I was really happy that I was able to do that, and I think it was really cool for me to have that experience. And I think it was great that, I didn't let my experience during my last prep detour me from doing this meet, because my last prep I did a meet and it was horrible, and it was horrible because I made it horrible on myself, because my attitude was horrible. So it was nice to see, that there's progress as far as how I look at things. And, a lot of times when I'm coaching my girls and stuff, you don't really realize how much of your mental strength is tested when you're going through, a prep and things like that. But a lot of it is. And I think that this prep, I believe in myself more. I believe that I can accomplish the goals that I've set for myself, and I think that is making a huge difference. I don't go into the gym like, oh, I'm weaker now because I'm in prep. When I have shitty days, I'm not, going to get emotional about it. It is what it is. And when I have good days, I'm stoked about it. So it's just like, some days you just have to get the work in. And I'm just really happy about where I'm at now. And as far as what's next, I have 4 more shows this season, all pretty close together. So it's going to be a lot of traveling, and it's going to be a really fun time. But next on the agenda is my very first pro show, which I am super stoked about. And this season is going to be my best season for sure. I know that, what I need to work on, and Alberto knows, and, I need to be leaner. And, after this last show, I counted my macros the whole time. I did not have a free meal. Berto dropped the hammer a little bit, and I'm already leaner than I was last weekend, so things are just going to get better from here. And I'm excited to get on stage again, because as much as people say it and it's cliche or whatever, this is about me beating me, and I've already beat me from 2013, so I'm happy about that. But, placing second in that show just made me hungry for more, and I plan on coming back for some revenge. So that's really all that I have for you guys. If you guys, have any questions for me, or if you want me to make videos about anything else, feel free to ask. I just appreciate everybody's support and anybody who actually watches this. So thank you guys, and I'll try to do more updates soon. Thanks.